Oh. How are we all doing? Let's see. Oh, how are we all doing? Pardon me. Hope we're all doing as well as can be. There you go. So yeah, it's a bit late in the day for me to do some painting, in all fairness. The primary painting now that I've got left to do over is the 3 GCPD. In theory, I could get away with just doing 2 because of stuff I've already got. I'm happy with the scatter terrain that I printed out and got painted. I still got a bunch of MDF to do. However, something crept up out of nowhere, inverted commas. That is, there's a Games Expo. Kelly, the door's open, by the way.
Okay.
I said the door's open, by the way.
Okay.
Just making sure you're civil.
Do you mean decent?
Or decent, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I need to plan out what I'm doing for the Cornwall Expo. Yes, doggy woggy? You want cuddles, doggy woggy? Do you want cuddles? Do you want cuddles? Oh, yes. Oh. You can't lick my face. You can't lick it. Okay. What, do you want cuddles? Oh, okay, you want to go and play with mummy. Okay. Yeah, so I need to figure out what I'm actually taking. What? Do you want cuddles? Do you want cuddles? Do you want cuddles? Oh, do you want cuddles? Oh, do you want cuddles? You want to show your waggy tail? You want to show your waggy tail? Yes, you want to show your waggy tail. You want to show your waggy tail? Okay. Go on. Anyway. So, yeah, oh god, yeah, it just crept up out of nowhere. Basically, the long and short of it. So, wunderbar. So I've got plenty of stuff that I need to crack on with, and it's just more of a keeping people in the loop, basically. And seeing how everyone is as well, in all fairness. And just going from there, pretty much. Because, if I do show people a minute. Let's get the actual camera working. I need a decent night's sleep as well tonight, because got car MOT and stuff to deal with. So yeah, got the portaloo done, dumpsters done, so they're fine for scatter terrain in the background. The concrete barricades are something like it. They don't get to be over the top. The pallets are done. Bollard thingies, cone thingies are done. There you go. Nothing too fancy, just something nice. So yeah, so these ones are done. So basically I need 4 police officers and 1 leader, like a detective or something. So I could either use Commissioner Loeb or I can use Jim Gordon. So that's what I mean, I'm pretty good either way. But I do believe I need to put some wash on these, which I may do now. And just get bits and pieces sorted. But yeah, the Games Expo, it's taken some of my own prints and stuff with me. Obviously to sell and showcase. So that's why I put a post up on my socials of what would people like to see there as input, because I've only got so much time now. So any and all input is much appreciated. But yes, yeah, any and all inputs, very much appreciated. Kelly, you know, Gus had brought some hobby stuff with him. Do you think he wants the hobby here or hobby up there? Well, I will probably tomorrow when he's awake. You may be asking why I'm putting a black wash over something that I've contrasted. I've already thinned down this Nuln oil, so it flows more into the recesses, so it doesn't tea stain as much. So it really punches up the contrast. And the shadows, hopefully you can see that actually through the basin tiles. Because if I compare that to that, you can hopefully see it really does make them stick up more. There you go. Well, yeah, I don't know if it's actually too late to stream now, thinking about it. But hey ho, 'tis what it is. But yeah, so I will give people an idea of what I'm doing for the demo a minute, for actual GriffCon as well. So let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. Pardon me. So let's see if I can get this actually working a bit better. Don't think it is. Gotta love technology when it doesn't want to work. Okay, it's not one to the work. That's it is what it is. But yes, so the idea that I've got for going to the Expo, I'll see if I can actually bring it up. Internet is very, very, very slow at the moment, and I don't know why. Here you go. So there you go. So it's down in Hale, down my neck of the woods. I think it's Hale. No, Helston. There, Helston. I always get them mixed up, even though they're very different. Very different. They're both down in Cornwall, but they are quite different. So it starts at 9 o'clock, and it's a charity-run expo, which is... There's 3 distinct areas. There's the open gaming hall, which is board games and demos and everyone, you know, come play. Then you've got the main hall, which is where the vendors will be and organisers and groups and stuff. Then you've got the foyer, which you can find out about roll the dice and their, you know, their community-driven role behind it and stuff like that. So I will be in the main hall, hopefully. So, yeah, so the plan I've got is I'm going to be taking stuff that I sold previously. The main thing that I want to take is terrain stuff. Hedges, fences, walls, fuel tankers, ruins, buildings, stuff like that. Because for me personally, I do think when people want to play X wargames, okay, so that could be D&D, that could be roleplay, Stargrave, 40k, AOS, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Star Wars Legion, whatever. Okay, you insert that. Terrain really does sell what you're playing into. The only thing that doesn't really get away with having terrain in it per se would be stuff such as Blood Bowl. That comes off the top of my head. And maybe naval warfare. Okay, your terrain is an ocean mat. Alright, so that's what I was thinking, is having the more universal terrain there, which I just think will be just nice and useful for people. And trinkets, like gaming accessories such as measuring sticks and things like that, because they're quite useful. Having the 3-inch measuring stick, like 3-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch, and half-inch. They're just useful. If you need to move something 3 inches, instead of getting it out and tape measure, you have your little widget and you're good to go. So that for me is quite a nice thing, and I can just give them away, those little widgets and stuff. And they do have a good cause behind them. They genuinely do have a good cause behind them. It's just making sure I've got everything ready to go for that. When it comes to GriffCon, I've got the basing classes, the material and stuff is all ready to go. I just need to bag it up individually. I've got tons of bases now ready and they're printed out. They're good to go. So the only thing is just do a quick little test run for each one. Make sure that's all good. I got my demo stuff. I just need to build stuff. That's all ready to go. And what I've been doing, I've been using a bit of chat to help me lay it out a little bit better. I still need to fill it in more. And do it myself. But I really do like how it's coming out. That you have a sergeant, lieutenant, or detective. As I said, I've got to tweak this. So then you've got 2 police officers. So I'm going to tweak that. So one's got a baton and searchlight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak this. I've got a detective. I've then got 2 police officers with batons, 1 with a pistol, and then 1 with a taser. Then I need to have a look through my Joker Penguin crews and see what I could do out of that. But I want to do similar. So you got a leader, then you got 4 thugs. Okay, so I need to do a similar thing. but I don't want Batman or Joker or anything like that, because their mechanics would really they would take away somewhat from the thugs, somewhat from the goons, the people on the ground level. So yeah, with the TT combat, it's set up that I've got multi-story levels and things like that. I've got cones, I've got barriers, I've got rubble, then I've got construction cabins, I've got shipping containers, I've got wooden pallets and boxes, so it's really, really nice. You know, it's a 2x2 board, right? It's not 2x2, 3x3. 3x3 is the board, but you're going to be playing in a 2x2. Then the idea is, I got 2 different sets of demos. So I got one that if people are very new into wargaming, it's a 30-minute one. If they are more experienced with wargaming, I can then do the bit more fleshed out one and go from there. And it's very simple objectives. And they're secret objectives that I'm going to get printed out and put into cards, and then you pull out from the card and you got your secret objective. And yeah, just basically it's minor victories and major victories. Alright, so what you can do is, if you win the main game but you didn't score your secret agenda, is a minor victory. But if you won the game and you got your secret agenda, is a major victory. Simple as that. Simple. Nice and simple. And this is what I want it to be like. That it's just nice, straightforward, and that's what I want to do with it. That's the idea behind it. But yeah, as I said, any and all input genuinely is very, very much appreciated going forward with that, because yeah, I want it to actually work. I do have ideas for future other game systems that I wouldn't mind demoing down the line. One of them that does come to mind is bolt action. So it would be, for me personally, the stuff I got, it would be set in North Africa war in World War II. So it would be the 8th Army, the Desert Rats, versus the Afrika Korps, the Axis forces of the Nazis and the Italians, versus the Commonwealth. So it's like your British, your Indian, your Australian, your Canadians, all the Commonwealth, the colonies, in one united force. Do you have civilian encounters? In what way, good sir? In what way? My brain's a little bit frazzled, so you have to bear with me. I was out in the sun a bit today. Been a bit non-stop. Been a wee bit non-stop. Oh, for the demo, is that what you mean, like neutral characters? Potentially. I don't want to overwhelm people, so what I'm looking at doing is using the old objective markers that you would get in Night Models. I'll grab them in a minute. We had like the Joker canister and the Riddler thing and stuff like that. So I could do something with those, because the concept I was coming up with was, let's have a little look. So the game structure was going to be set up that basically, let's have a little look. I really need to sit down with a good cup of tea or coffee and get this dialed in, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So I'm going to get this all rewritten and stuff like that. So basically, the police force, if you arrest a gang member, you get a VP. if you secure a tagged location, so that's an objective location, you get a VP. Victory point. For the gang side, if they spray 3 buildings, they get a VP, or vandalize 3 buildings, or they do something to these 3 buildings, they get a VP. So I just want to work out how that's actually done. Just which would be the interact with objectives mechanic I'm looking at doing for the demo. So it gets people, if they like the idea of you interact with objectives and stuff like that, that is part of the Batman game. And the other part would be then escaping off the board with the loot. So basically the GCPD want to secure the loot, because there could be important credentials and stuff in there. The gang members want to run off with the loot. So it's that dichotomy. Hopefully that kind of explains it a little bit, because I got the rule book printed out in front of me actually. So let's have a look. Thinking about it, I may have to place an order with counter-attack dice, I think they're called, because they actually do tokens. Batman skirmish tokens. I think they also do tokens for Star Wars Legion, Shatterpoint, and other skirmish games. I think maybe even the Loose Shot, maybe Blood Bowl if that's necessary. I have heard in the pipeline they are looking at Horus Heresy tokens, because now Heresy really does like its tokens, for better or for worse. So let's have a little look. As I said, I don't want it getting too complicated. Just from a demo point of view, I don't want people being like, "Oh my god, it's too much for me to take in." So okay, because I know there's a lot of nuances like taking action and stuff. So yeah, I need to do I want to play some at-home games of Batman to refresh myself, because I haven't actually played Batman in a wee while. So I want to refresh it all. So there you go. Manipulate actions. Alright. So of course, while most of the action on the Gotham streets will involve moving and fighting, that's far from all there is. The manipulate action allows you to interact with elements of the game beside other models, and has various uses. Commonly, you'll use the manipulate action to place suspect markers, reveal suspect markers, use sewers, and so on and so forth. So this is the kind of mechanic I want to use for, say, the loot and tagging buildings and stuff. So I'll probably use place suspect markers as the tag or graffiti buildings. By performing a manipulate action, a model can place a suspect marker. Suspect markers are points of interest on the board, such as clues or strategic position. You cannot place them inside or within 2 inches of your own deployment, and within 4 inches of a friendly suspect markers. A player cannot have more than 8 suspect markers at a time. So, how do you actually manipulate? How do you manipulate? I completely forgot how to manipulate. I'm going to have to read through it more, but the manipulate thing was what I was looking at doing for that. Because part of me wanted to involve if the loot may have been tampered with, because yeah, could you tamper with it to stop people running off with it? But then I didn't know if that was making it too complicated for people. I don't know if that was like over the top. But yeah, I'm up for some input, of course, on it. Now, how do you make a manipulation roll? Oh, here you go. During your activation, a model can perform a single tactical action from the following: attack or manipulate. Yeah, I'm going to have to read into that more to make sure I actually got that right. Alright, that's some homework for me to do. But yeah, hopefully that kind of may have answered your question, Mr. Average, because, like, I don't know if I could involve NPCs or something like that, because I don't know if that would break the demo, because what NPC would I include? Would I suddenly include Nightwing or Spike, you know, the Penguin's lieutenant, or Robin, or someone turning up into the middle of the fight? I don't know. I don't know, because I don't want it to get out of hand pretty quick, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's something that I need to sit down and actually figure out, just for my own peace of mind. Ooh, pardon me, getting a bit old here, and old and tired. But yeah, any and all inputs, I'm grateful for that, which would be nice. But yeah, I do need to sit down and figure that out and figure out what cards. Hello, Born. Hello. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna actually gonna take with that and go from there, just for peace of mind. But I first of all need to figure out what I'm gonna be printing off, for the Expo to take. Just, you know, bits and pieces. But 'tis what it is. Wrong one. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing alright with me waffling and sounded like an absolute loon. But yeah, what's everyone up to then, if you don't mind me asking? What we all been doing then? if anything. Trying to find motivation to paint. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I would normally be painting, but it is gone. It is almost 10 o'clock, and in all hindsight, I did start the stream pretty late. But yeah, I just wanted to voice my plans for the demo and stuff like that. For GriffCon and also the Cornwall Gaming Expo down my neck of the woods, which is surprisingly I didn't realise it was this Saturday. So I need to get the printers up and firing and get all that working, which is interesting, to put it politely. So I was also thinking printing out some general D&D style heroes for that and see what people think of that, because you know, you want to go into D&D, you may want dwarven heroes or something to come along with you, or elf rogue or wizard or orc barbarian, XYZ. You know, you kind of get where I'm coming from with that. But yeah, that's the thought process. But yes, it is what it is. You right, sweet? What are you doing? Okay. Kelly, could I have your input, please? Sometimes it's useful to have another pair of eyes on this, just in case you're being a little bit dumb and missing stuff, in all fairness. So you know I got that whole thing with the Games Expo this Saturday.
Yes.
Do you think it would be nice, because people like to play D&D and other role plays and stuff like that, printing out a selection of an assorted different heroes models like I've done in the past?
Yeah, good.
What, Kiki? Are you so must be clingy that you must be here giving me kisses and cuddles?
I am a staffy.
What? What?
Right, come here.
No. No.
You don't help him, Blanche. Come here.
What? What? Are you having a hissy fit because Mummy's not here? No. No, you cannot kiss my glasses. No. Her tail's going nuts.
That's nuts from.
There you go. Look at the tail. Look at the. Oh, okay. Ow, 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 ow. There you go.
Still got you. No, Mummy won't drop you.
You are a proper staffy, aren't you, madam? You're a proper staffy. Okay, okay. But yeah, so basically the long and short of it, I'll print out, that was for me getting that rule book from work. So I got Titan Forge, because they do really cool D&D stuff.
Who's online?
A handful of people.
Let's do that then. Can I go now?
Yeah, you can go, you can go. Ooh, would you be so kind to do me a decaf coffee or something, please? Please, I did get milk. Hello, Jay. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's more of a random stream. Like, it's a bit of a random one. Hopefully do a bit more of a regular time one tomorrow. where I can actually crack on and painting up the Batman minis. But yeah, I hope you're keeping all well. But yeah, it's still very much up in the air because with everything that was going on in my personal life, it went a little bit up in the air, shall we say. Because it's still trying to But yeah, honestly, yeah, any and all input is much appreciated. I know it's a bit of a sporadic one. I got worries now because I want it to work. I want it to work because I do enjoy the Batman universe and stuff like that, and I want the game to work. Obviously, night models aren't helping themselves at all. They're just not. Simple as that. But yeah, it's a difficult one because it's not as though I'm demoing a game system that a lot of people know. Because if I'm demoing that, it may feel a bit of a moot point. Because me demoing 40k, it feels like 40k in AOS doesn't need me demoing it. it's already good to go. And those kind of game systems don't, to me personally, they're, if you dull them down to a demo level for 30-45 minute gameplay, it feels like you might as well be demoing Spearhead or Combat Patrol. But Combat Patrol to me feels, I don't know, it could be a little bit misleading. That someone thinks, oh, this is a, and then you see the nuances and the stuff put on top. Just my personal opinion on that. But it's like that with any demo. You've got to trim stuff off. The only thing I don't think you need to worry about trimming off that's mainstream wargame is like one-page rules. It's as simple as it can be. So it's not like you've got to trim anything off, if that makes sense. Which is an interesting topic all to itself. yeah, what I'm probably going to do, because I'm probably rattling like an absolute loon at the moment, I need to figure out what I'm actually going to... what I actually need to do, in all fairness, because I'm probably not helping myself sound like an absolute loon and not making much sense when it comes to certain things, because in my head I want things to run as smoothly as possible, but I need to just sit down and actually, the other half keeps saying, you know, I need to note stuff down and actually write it down, and I do struggle with that, to put it politely. I do struggle with that because I'm a bit of a free thinker / I go with the flow, which doesn't always help when I get worked up that I've kind of like, oh, where have I gone with X, Y, Z, for example. You know, I don't help myself, but it is very much a catch-22, to put it politely.
Enough.
Thank you, sweetie. I may end stream in a minute because I'm not really painting, so my brain's going a little bit all over the place, because I don't think really people are going to be entertained with me downloading files and getting stuff printed ready to go, because this is the kind of thing.
You can have that dirt going in the background and do it.
Okay.
Looks like you started to do your paints anyway.
No, I washed them, sweetie, but it's a bit late. I don't want to accidentally make a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
I know. But these are the kind of things I was thinking of, Kelly, like townsfolk. There's one with doggy. There's one with a doggy. Look. There's an old chap. That's cool. Yeah, so this looks like it's all NPCs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, may do that one. And other ones. Don't sound too happy. Yeah, I'll start downloading that one. And this one here has 2 different sets in it as well. And then you've got pit fighters. Which I do like the look of, so I may do that one. And then I've got barbarians. If it actually loads. but yes, I think in all fairness, I don't want to be boring you lovely lot any more than I have to. I need to figure out what I'm actually going to be printing off and doing, because what I may do is actually go through my collection that I put away in the garage, take some photos, put it up in the Discord and see what people think of it. Because do people think they would like me printing off stuff like this, like the DC stuff that I got? Because I'm not putting it on my actual site to sell or anything like that. I don't know if people would like this kind of stuff, like diorama stuff, to buy it and do it as their own, you know, painting project. I don't know. You know, just add a bit of variety to it. But yeah, this is a genuine painting project I've got in the pipeline where I printed out the plinth as well, which I'm quite happy about, in all fairness. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to bore you people to your wits' end. But yeah, I'm hoping to stream a reasonable time tomorrow, cracking on with the Batman stuff. And then maybe showing some of the cards and some of the rules and mechanics off. But yes, thank you all for joining me on this short stream. Bit of an impromptu random stream. But yes, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and I hope to catch some of you in the next one. Ta-ra for now.